So hello and welcome to a very special edition of Tamper Tantrum. We've decided to do a small little snack-sized episode just on a very special guest we've had today. So would you like to introduce our special guest? Very funny.
A man that is far taller than you.
Yes.
I would just like to point out.
In both size and stature.
And he's well known for being quite gentle.
Yes.
Mr. John Gordon. Woo! So we even have an audience.
We have a live studio audience in the shape of Lawrence Brady. A Lawrence-shaped audience.
So we've given the love out to John in the past. John has had much Tamper Tantrum love for his achievements as UK latte art champion type person. Mm-hmm. What's the official title?
I guess it is UK latte art champion.
Yep. Very cool. How many people competed this year in the UK?
Oh, do I have to say?
Yeah.
What was it? 9.
9. That's cool. That's far better than have competed in the past. I think he's probably the most attended.
Everyone that does enter a latte art competition is generally pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's definitely commendable.
Well, you're very much there to be shot at if you're going into a latte art competition and you shit at latte art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's it. It's really hard.
I'm really bad.
The first thing I always find is that once you get up on a stage, your wrists lock. So it must be really hard just to get up and pour latte art all the time. It's just
I don't know about locking, more of the
shaking of the jugs.
Yeah, the shaking. Yeah.
So just to rewind, why did you go into the latte? What kind of inspired you to do that?
For me, it was just a continuation of the UKBC, and I thought it would help me in future competitions, and yeah, it was just a bit more fun, which turned out to be winning. So I thought that was quite a surprise, actually.
We weren't surprised, were we?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we talked about it on the last one, but we felt that the UK one, you kind of went out and did something quite different to what everybody else did in the UKBCs. Would you agree?
Yep, definitely.
And that didn't go down well with everybody.
No. But again, first competition, so.
Yeah. But I think it was really cool that you went out with an idea that you wanted to do and you wanted to take forwards and kind of really followed it through. And I think the Latte Art Championships was a really good kind of move just to take that on and get that extra practice in of being in front of.
So for people that don't, have never seen a latte art competition or what it entails, tell everyone just briefly what the competition is, the format of it.
Okay, the format is you have to make 3 sets of drinks, which is 2 macchiatos, 2 cappuccinos, and then 2 of a signature drink. And you have to pour pretty little squiggles, and in each drink, you can find to a certain size for your macchiato and for your cappuccino, and then your signature drink vessel can be anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your anything?
My anything was a boat-shaped food platter, and I just poured a rosetta inside of that, which was very difficult. Yeah. Not easy at all.
And in the competition in Cologne anyway. I was trying to figure it. So what was the competition like in Cologne when you got there? You walked into the arena with the seating, the tiered seating, and the lights and the cameras and all the different languages floating around and luminaries everywhere. And what did you think?
I was calm up until that point, and that's when I got really nervous. I thought I would have been absolutely fine, but then got very nervous seeing the stage, the seating, and the whole setup was just very, very daunting. So.
Have we got some footage of John's performance?
Yeah.
So we're just going to cut in now some kind of pictures of the stage and John on stage.
I haven't got John on stage, but
you not?
Yeah, we've got.
Oh, this is the stage.
Yeah. That's the stage.
Why did you not video, John?
Because Paul made me work on the Uber boiler, and then when I did see him, my battery ran out.
Okay.
So
I got a video from.
Okay, so you are seeing video still of John on stage
from the UK one.
I've got UK.
From the UK. Okay, from the UK one.
Yeah, I was lucky a member of our studio audience had a video.
Luckily, the member of our studio audience had more sense and kind of skill to take that on video.
Yes, I think so. So you were really nervous.
I was exceptionally nervous.
And how were you when it came to going up on stage?
Nervous to the point where I had so much tunnel vision. I think it actually worked for me in the heat. And even though I was so nervous, my pours came out quite well. And then moving on into the finals, I was way too relaxed.
Yeah.
And I'm going to blame Ben Helfen for that, for having whiskey backstage.
Oh dear.
But no, I went into the finals just so happy that I got into the finals. I think that's what made me too relaxed, was I was happy if I came sixth, which I did. So very happy.
Yeah.
Sounds a familiar story of.
Yeah, I think you kind of. It's
that high is really kind of difficult, isn't it? You know, it's kind of like the high of knowing you through.
Yep.
It must have been difficult with it because the format was you had the qualifiers in the morning and the
Yep.
finals in the afternoon. Is that right?
Yep.
That's harsh. That's a lot of pressure for one day and a lot of work for one day. Because I know how exhausted kind of you were when you came off from the WBC and how exhausted we were as a backup team. It was just like, did that really just happen? So to have to do that again in the afternoon.
Yeah, and we
It's
had,
tough.
because I was up 24th in the heats, so it was, I think there was 30 people, 30 countries competing. So then straight after that was done, finalists were announced. We had probably half an hour, and because I scored the lowest out of the top 6, I was up first. So it was just, okay, when are we starting, and quickly get everything ready, jump on stage.
Wow,
So,
that is
and
harsh.
they make you stand on the stage when you're the incumbent, and then when somebody beats your score, they go up and take your place on the stage. And
yeah.
So they make the guy who was winning at that particular time stand on the stage like a
pedestal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Do you have like a big throne?
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the most daunting thing was in the finals. I went to pour my first cappuccino, and there was a swarm of cameras. And go to pour my first cappuccino,
that
and
was
all I could
shocking.
see was camera lenses. And yeah, I think that was a point of, okay, now I realise where I am. So
Because we were sitting, I was sitting beside Jess, and then like people had said it to me before about the cameras coming in, but I was like, "Oh, it's grand. He won't see any. He won't notice them." And they were just everywhere. And she was like, "Oh, yeah." And I was like, "No, he won't notice." And he came off, and I said, "You don't notice them, do you?" And he was like, "Yeah, I did. They were everywhere." And I was like, "Oh."
It's one thing I don't like about the way the competitions are, that I think far too many press passes are given out to people who shouldn't necessarily be getting a press pass. And I'd love one to be up there taking photos as well, but it's also a competition where people got to compete. But the other part is that people don't seem to respect the workspace. You wouldn't in a cafe. It's meant to be about the perfect service, and in your perfect service, if you're in a cafe or a restaurant, wouldn't have people getting in your way, technical judges doing this while you're trying to pull your next espresso, and that I don't know.
But you should make it more difficult. I think that's a good way to do it. If you're making it more difficult,
Yeah.
then it's bad.
But even being there can be enough of a disturbance, do you know what I mean? And just like people being, I couldn't work under that. I watched both of you guys kind of compete, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't work with people that close to me. I'd end up telling somebody to go and get lost, because it's hard enough as it is. There's enough pressure without making it harder, as you say.
I've seen people almost trip over tech judges before.
Yeah.
And
I
almost
don't know whether you watched the US competitions this year, the US qualifiers and then the finals. They were really bad. I was just looking at those tech judges going, that's not right. You shouldn't be doing that. But that's the beast that it is.
So the competition, what do you think? Besides obviously finishing sixth and getting to the finals, is there any one thing that you can take away from that competition? Say that's going to stand to me now in the future. Like, what have you learned from it?
Without a doubt, my latte art improved so much just from practicing, because I've been so focused the last year on espresso and being a barista that I didn't really put my focus into latte art. And then what I found was as soon as I started focusing on latte art, I instantly got better. So that's the one thing I'll take away from it is I know that when I do focus on that kind of thing, it just improves tenfold.
Yeah, it's just kind of immersing yourself in whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the combination of the UKBC and the latte art for the first time is just going to mould into one for next year, I hope. So.
Yeah, and you're going to do UKABC this year?
Definitely, and the latte art again, and I might even do the cupping just for the fun of it.
And the ear brick.
And the ear brick, why not? Yeah.
Ear brick, we can fight against the ear brick. I might go for that as well.
I think we should all do it.
Yeah.
Even you, Loz.
Even you, Loz, you want to do it? Ear brick?
Ear brick, yeah.
No.
Okay.
What?
So can somebody remove the audience, please?
Security.
But yeah, so Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you.
6th best latte
As
artist
well
in the
as that-
world.
Yeah, and the UK won the overall barista trophy.
Yes,
Um,
best overall nation.
Yeah.
It was. Yep.
So huge part of playing that, and
Yes.
I think we'll see a lot more of you in the future. And
Is there, before we finish, anybody you want to say thank you to for kind of the efforts from? I know certainly one or two people deserve at least a little bit of love.
Jess, of course,
Yeah, of
my
course.
fiancée Jess. She has helped me through the UKBC and in the latte art and does everything for me. Everything. She's my main support, so without a doubt, Jess.
I think Mr. O'Hara as well has been very supportive at Ristretto, hasn't he? And kind
Let
of-
me do whatever I want in our training facility.
And also the ability to go around all of the, because you did all of the regionals, didn't you, this year?
Yes,
Which
yes.
is,
Which was very hard, actually.
yeah, I can't imagine it being a fun thing to do, but I can imagine it being useful and
Yeah.
interesting, and kind of getting to meet all the competitors and see all of their performances can only help
Yeah.
kind of get better. So,
Definitely.
yeah.
And also one more thank you to you for
Yeah.
the coffee.
Yeah.
Beautiful coffee.
It's great, isn't it?
yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much. We're going to go and show you some shots now of John pouring some beautiful latte art.
Some squiggles on the coffee.
Squiggles on the coffee, right? Hey.
Right. So ladies and gentlemen, John Gordon.
With my friend Squiggly Born, I get that same cheap thrill. Without naked sorority grandma 6 showing up on my Visa bill. Yeah, Squiggly Born, you're always around. I keep coming back, though you let me down. You give me a tit, then you take it away. I'm still looking forward to that special day when I can see some poontang and chicks making out. And it ain't all distorted, yeah, there won't be a doubt that I conquered the beast. Then what will I do? Squiggly Born, I'll miss you.